This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Knicks with a nice win over the Indiana Pacers, 131-114. The Knicks are averaging 126 points in the preseason. But I'm begging you all, please don't go overboard. Don't jump out the window because they're averaging 126 points per game in the preseason. That's all I'm saying. Love it. Enjoy it. Be happy because it shows that we can score the basketball. We can play a little bit faster. Can we continue to do it throughout the season? Can we do it when defenses clamp down, when defenses get tight, when they start to hold and grab and bite and punch people in the face like Draymond Green? Can they do it then? Can they score the way that they've been scoring so far? We'll see. I hope so. I like the way that they play. They still got some things to work out, some kinks. You know what I mean? But so far, so good in the preseason. But let's not jump out the window yet. That's all I want to say to my friends and family that are joining me tonight. I got Uncle Fulio and I got Tony Crow in the building. And we're going to go ahead and break this one down, ladies and gentlemen. Nice stat line across the board for the New York Knicks players. The Knicks led by Obi Toppin, who was getting busy tonight. 24 points, 3 rebounds for Obi. Some nice dunks. Played some nice defense as well. A couple of big blocks there for Obi, using his athletic ability. You got to love it, right? Because that's one thing. I'm telling you right now, that's something that can really keep Obi on the floor. If he uses his ability to get vertical, to impose his will on defenses and make players change their shot. Now you start talking about when people talk about, well, with Julius Randle and Obi Toppin on the floor, Tom Thibodeau says there's not a shot blocker. But if Obi can do that, that changes that narrative. That changes the narrative. And then if you got Obi in the second unit, you know, Hartenstein has shown that he can change shots, and he's got a couple of goaltends, you know what I mean, because he's blocking it when it comes off the backboard. But if he can change some shots and then Obi can use his vertical ability to change some shots and block some shots, that's big for you. You know what I mean? But Obi Toppin, 24 points, 3 rebounds. Jalen Brunson, 17 points, 5 assists. RJ Barrett, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Julius Randle, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. It's a good stat line for the New York Knicks all the way across the board. Let's get into it. Josh, what's popping with you, man? How you feeling?
Listen, y'all, don't listen to Sam. He think he's slick because we were just having a conversation before we came on about going overboard and all of this stuff, right? He thinks he's slick. But I do have a take that I want to get to.
Then we have
Great game, first of all.
Then we have a super chat from Josh two shows ago that said, watch people overreact either positively or negatively, depending on how the Knicks do. I mean,
right.
Didn't we have a super chat? Oh, okay. I'm just saying. All right.
But I don't think my take is an overreaction. Anyway, as I was saying, good win by the New York Knicks. You know, listen, I just want this again to translate over into the regular season and the preseason. It looks all great, fine and dandy, but we got to find a way to do this for the majority of the season, not just for the first 5-10 games. We have to find a way to bring this to the regular season. But good win nonetheless.
Let me ask you this before I get to Tony. One of the things that you said in the past is you're not sure if the Knicks can actually play fast. And they haven't done it consistently. Right. But does this start to change your mind at least a little bit?
Sam, the same way that I feel at this very moment is the same way I felt the last preseason. They can do it. They have the ability to do it. My question is, can they do it over the long haul of the regular season. That's always been my concern. They could have did it last season during the regular season. They
Well,
just
I'm,
didn't.
I'm just saying, a couple of shows ago, you said you don't think that they're built to do it.
I didn't say I didn't think they were built to do it. I didn't think they can translate over into the regular
I
season.
don't know. I think you said that you don't believe that they were built to do it. You said you don't think that they have the personnel to be able to play fast and be efficient.
No, I didn't say anything about the personnel. It wasn't about the personnel. It was the fact that I didn't think that they can translate it over to the regular season. They can do it just like they did the last preseason when you said they had a championship level offense.
I don't know. I think I recall you saying that you don't believe that they have the players to do it, and that you don't think a Tom Thibodeau team would do it because that's not the way that Tom Thibodeau coached it in the past.
That I said. I didn't say anything about the personnel.
I think you did say that about the personnel.
I said that part about Tom Thibodeau.
I think you did say it about the personnel. Well, we're going to go back and check the records. We're going to go check these records, ladies and gentlemen, because these are recent receipts.
Let's get it.
I didn't fold it up in my wallet and pull it out and it was all faded away. It's still right there. Tony, what's going on with you, bro?
Peace, son. Yeah, your blackest time. What's good, Josh? Shout out to the chat. Another good win. I'm happy, man. I'm ready to talk about it. But yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's get. Let me do some stats first, just some stats of the game, and then we can get into any kind of storylines that you want to talk about as we get into the game. Man, so far for this preseason, over these two games, the Knicks are shooting the ball well. They started off a little bit slow, not shooting it the best, but they ended up turning it around. The second unit really did help to turn it around, with the way that they play. 131 points scored by the New York Knicks. They shot 44% from the field and 40.5% from the three-point line. The Knicks took 44 threes tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think it was by design. They just took whatever was available to them. That's what I think. It didn't seem as though it was forced to me, although the Knicks' first 4 or 5 shots were three-point attempts. But I don't think it was. I think it's just that's what was available to them at the time, so they took it. At least that's the way that I saw it. All right, 42 attempts, my bad. 42 attempts. They were 17 for 42 from the three-point line, the New York Knicks tonight. They also shot 96% from the free throw line. That's the kind of number you like to see. Mitchell Robinson made his 2 free throws even. And they looked good going down. You know what I mean? Encouraging stuff from the Knicks. 54 rebounds for the Knicks, 25 assists, 9 steals, 5 blocks, only 9 turnovers. They're taking care of the basketball so far in the preseason. All right, 17 fast break points for the Knicks, 24 second chance points. The Knicks had 50 points in the paint. The Indiana Pacers had 52 points in the paint. Remember the previous game, the Pacers played against the Charlotte Hornets. They had 72 points in the paint. The Knicks had 62 points in the paint when they played against, who they play against the other day? Detroit, when they played against the Detroit Pistons. All right, the Indiana Pacers, 114 points on the night, 61 rebounds, 26 assists, 5 steals, 10 blocks, 19 turnovers for the Pacers. And you know what? I'm not even going to sit there and say they were just lazy with the ball or this and that. The Knicks played pressure defense. You know what I mean? And that's a big reason why they turned the ball over, in my opinion. Yeah, did they make mistakes that maybe the Knicks did not cause? Of course, that's going to happen in every single basketball game. But I think that the Knicks are playing pressure defense. You're seeing guys switch off on 2 and 3 players in one possession. You know what I mean? Making that second effort. Hopefully it continues throughout the season. But they're switching off on 2 and 3 players, communicating with each other on the defensive end, and it's looking good. There's going to be mistakes made. When you play aggressive defense, there's going to be some mistakes. There's no doubt about it. You know what I mean? But they played good team defense with team communication, I thought. Forced 19 turnovers. Right? Those are some numbers on the game, ladies and gentlemen. The Pacers were led by Tyrese Halliburton with 20 points, 9 rebounds for Miles Turner, 7 assists for Tyrese Halliburton, and then Badotsi led the Indiana Pacers in blocks with 2. For the Knicks, Obi Toppin led the team in scoring with 24 points. 9 rebounds for Mitch to lead the team in rebounds. Julius Randle had 4 assists to lead the team in assists. And Miles McBride led the team in blocks with 2. All right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. 131 points for the Knicks. They gave up 114 to the Pacers. And the Pacers shot the ball well. 44% from the field, 39% from 3. So they shot the ball well. The Knicks were just better. And, of course, they caused turnovers. Just looking at these numbers out there, what jumps out to you? What are you thinking about? Tony, I'll start with you. I think you got to hit that mute button.
Yeah, I'm back. Free throw shooting is probably the biggest thing that stands out. Mitch look confident out there shooting his free throws. And they look good, like you said. And swish. So that was the most, like, as far as the stat line. The 3-pointers, I think there's a conscious effort that if they go under, you shoot it. So I think, like, I mean, even the guys that didn't have confidence or didn't shoot a lot of threes, like, I think they figuring out, or they realizing, all right, that's what we doing. That's what we doing here. You know what I mean? If you open, you shoot it. So I think the attempts is gonna be pretty high throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've been going up and up every year with Tibbs anyway. So I think maybe we at that level now where it's where he wanted.
And maybe part of it is guys shooting without. They're not worried. They're not thinking. They're just shooting it. I'm open. I'm shooting it. You know what I mean? Without thinking about, is it the right shot or not? You know what I mean? And I think if you play that way, you're going to play more fluent. You're going to be more relaxed. You're going to play with rhythm. And that's what I'm seeing right now. Even though sometimes the shots may be ill-advised, you might be like, I don't know about that one. You know what I mean? But they're not thinking about it. They're just taking it. And then hopefully the right, they get to the point where they're always taking the right shot.
Yeah, I'm looking at even quickly with his deep threes. Those were because somebody went under a screen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it may look bad, but I mean, I think that's what they're told now. Like, you know what I mean? They go under.
Right. And quickly played under more control tonight. I felt. He had his moments, but I thought he played under control. Josh, quick thought to the game, and then we can get into talking about Obi Toppin because he's the man of the night, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, absolutely. Shooting percentages. I thought the shooting percentages between the free throws, field goal percentage from the field, just overall, and 3-point percentage was really good for the Knicks tonight. And if they are making shots at that clip, 44, you want to get the field goal percentage up just a little bit more, right? They shot at 44% tonight. But if the Knicks can sustain this, I think then this is pretty much the offensive output that we're going to have throughout the course of the season. The question is, can they be able to do it? And I'm very encouraged by what I see for the first 2 preseason games. Like, they're shooting the basketball very, very well, moving the basketball, playing with pace. Like you said, moving at a fast pace, not only in the full court, but also in the half court as well, swinging the ball around, people not really holding the ball as much. So that's what I'm really encouraged by. From the defensive end, we didn't start off that great. We gave up a lot of 3-pointers to start the game. I think Cam Reddish was still trying to get his feel for that starting lineup just to begin. But, to start the third quarter, I think that starting lineup came out with a lot more flair, a lot more fire, and they seemed to kind of find their footing at that point. But overall, a good game. I'm very excited about what I see for right now.
Okay. All right. Let me get to a couple of super chats, and then we can go ahead and start getting into some discussion over a couple of topics. All right, we'll start with the 77. Thank you for the super chat. He said, flip-flopping as usual. I think he's talking about you, Josh. I don't know. But I feel like maybe he's talking about you. Back when we were talking about the Knicks playing fast. I think.
Oh no, I stand by what the hell I said. The Knicks got to be able to play fast during the regular season.
You don't got to get mad. You don't got to get mad. You ain't got to get mad. I'm just saying. I think he's talking about you. Paris Duggar said, "I believe Obi is Casper the Friendly Ghost." The Obi haters can't relate to the fact that he's a budding star. Looks like the end of last year to me. So a great way to lead into this discussion. Josh, you got something you want to say. Go ahead and get it off your chest.
All right, I'm just going to be point blank with this, okay? I think if Obi continues to play the way he's playing, if you think about the games last season, not just the last 10 games of the season, he had his moments where, when he was on the floor, right, the offense things just seemed to play better. I think the Knicks are going to have to find a way to part ways with Julius Randle, right? And I got a lot of reasons, but the first reason primarily, and which is obvious, is because of minutes on the floor, right? If Julius Randle is going to be out there for 30-plus minutes a game, that limits the amount of minutes that Obi's going to play. And Thibodeau, again, even though he played them tonight together, I don't see that translating over into the regular season.
They played together?
Robinson there.
They played together?
They had a couple minutes or so on the floor together. Randall was playing at the 5.
I don't remember
together.
that. I have to go back and look. Maybe they did. I don't know.
They did. And again, I don't see Thibodeau doing that in the regular season, right? So that's number one. Number two, because Obi is now starting to become a little bit more prolific at the 3-ball, right? And he doesn't need the basketball as much. I believe he is a better fit. He would be a better fit if he continues to play this way in the starting lineup because he doesn't need the basketball as much. That opens up the floor, particularly if you have Mitchell Robinson in the post, can't lead the paint, right? That opens up the floor for Jalen Brunson and for RJ Barrett to be able to operate. The Knicks can still be able to run their sets. And I was really apprehensive at first about the half court, but with Obi playing the way he's playing, I think Obi can definitely help the Knicks in the half court game, right? I'm not taking anything away from Julius Randle because I still think Julius Randle is important to this team. However, moving forward in the future, if Obi continues to play this way, you want to see him on the floor more, right? And I think the offense, particularly in the starting lineup, might be a little bit better with Obi compared to Randle at this point.
All I'm saying is let Obi do it. That's all I'm saying. Before we even get into all of that, let Obi do it. Let him do it when it really counts. That's what I was saying. Let him do it when it counts. You know what I mean? Because the last game, you say he's becoming more prolific from 3 because he knocked down some threes. This game, last game, he was 0 for 4. It's preseason.
Again,
though.
But just like we spoke about in the pregame show, it's not always about production and how many threes can Obi hit. It's about the threat of him being out there on the floor. And for the fact that the threat of him from the 3-point line, right? Because he's not knocking down 3-point shots at a prolific level does not mean he's not a threat out there,
I mean,
right?
you just said prolific. You just said he's becoming more prolific. All I'm saying is the last game he was 0 for 4. This game he knocked down threes. So let's not say he's prolific yet until he does it over an extended period of time. That's all that I'm saying.
Okay.
And last year
I'll take out the prolific word.
Last year he was
becoming a threat from 3.
Okay, last year he was 30% from the 3-point line.
I know.
Okay, so let's. All I'm saying is let him do it. Let him do it. Let him do it when it counts, and then once he's doing it when it counts, then you start saying, okay, we got some decisions to make.
How can he do it when it counts if you have someone who's going to play 30 minutes, at least 30 to 35 minutes out there on the floor ahead of him?
Well, if you look at the rotations so far in the preseason, right? Because you're basing this on his preseason play right now.
No, I'm not. I'm not basing it just on the preseason play.
Well, you didn't say anything. You didn't say anything after last game. You didn't say anything about Obi after last game. You didn't say anything about Obi topping.
Right, so that's how you know it's not about the preseason. It's not just about the preseason. It's about everything.
It is. It's about this game. If he didn't have this game, you wouldn't be saying anything about him.
No, I absolutely would. I absolutely would.
Then why didn't you say anything about him last game then?
Because it's not about a single game or individual game, Sam. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But what I'm saying is, if he didn't have 24 points tonight, if he had 10 points, you wouldn't be saying anything. You wouldn't be bringing this up. I'm not trying to discount Obi Toppin and his performance. What I'm saying is let him do it. Everyone keeps saying, keeps jumping out the window, but let him do it when the games really count. That's when I'm going to judge if he's ready to do it. When the games really do count. He played magnificent tonight. Played a great game. He was letting it go from 3. He showed that he could play with confidence. He wasn't thinking about making mistakes. He was jumping the ball to get steals. He was blocking shots. He played a great basketball game. All I'm saying is I want to see him do it consistently. That's all that I'm saying. That's it. Let him do it consistently before we start saying there's a power forward controversy.
There is a power forward controversy.
And if you're going to go by this preseason performance, so far, Tom Thibodeau has played Julius Randle for 6 minutes in the first quarter, gave Obi Toppin 10 minutes straight, and then brought Julius Randle back in 6 minutes in the third quarter. Let's see if this continues and adds minutes to Obi Toppin.
And that's all I was gonna say.
That's all I'm saying.
Just like Sim saying, let Obi do it over time. Let's see what Tibbs does over time as well before we start jumping out the window. And we haven't played a game yet. We don't.
Tony,
we don't know.
it's been 2 years. We know who Thibodeau is already. We know how stingy he is with his rotation.
He can't adjust.
You know what?
I never said he can't adjust. You're talking about let's see. We've seen it for 2 years already. We know who Thibodeau is.
But you also have to realize that over 2 years, he didn't have this same group of players. He didn't have the team with the same amount of depth. You can roll your eyes, but he didn't.
And it's not about the same group of depth.
When did Obi start showing this? The last 10 games. Right?
No.
So you saying we had all this time, but we didn't see this from Obi before. Thibodeau didn't see it from Obi before. He said he admitted it himself.
Once again, this is not about a single game, a single preseason game. This is not even about the last 10 games from last season. It's not even about that. I'm just looking at the team in totality altogether. Forget about Obi's individual stats. Forget about the dunks, the fast break dunks and all that. I'm not even going crazy about that. What I'm talking about is how the team plays collectively and the spacing on the floor. Obi is a threat from three-point range. Prolific was the wrong word. I shouldn't have even brought that word out there, right? But because he's a threat, you can put him in the corner. He can slash, right? That opens up the floor. I just think that the offense from in the starting lineup looks better when you have guys out there who can spread the floor, right? And Julius Randle, to me,
so Randle's not a threat from three. Or Obi's more of a threat from three than Randle?
Without the basketball. Without the basketball. Julius Randle, I feel like Julius Randle needs the basketball in order to succeed in the Knicks offense. Like playing off the ball is not something Julius Randle is not.
I asked you about the three-pointer because that's what you highlighted.
That's what I just said. Let me finish. I think Obi Toppin is a threat from three-point range. He doesn't need the basketball. Julius Randle, I think he's a threat as well. Hold on, let me finish. I think Julius Randle needs the basketball. He's a threat from three-point range, but he needs the basketball. And I think he kind of gets in the way of kind of the spacing. I just don't like the spacing with that. And we all can agree that Julius Randle is best inside the paint, not from three. We all can agree on that.
All right.
That has nothing to do with the you saying Obi should be in the starting lineup because he's a threat from three. Because Randle's more of a threat from three than Obi is. Did you see his shots? And I'm not even trying to kill Obi, but did you see his shots last game? His three-pointers last game? Wide left, mad over the rim? Twice? I mean,
Tony,
come on.
Tony, once again, this is not about the individual. This is about how they play collectively as a unit. And once again, Julius Randle, not just about the threes. Julius Randle, like the spacing with him on the floor in that starting lineup. First of all, I never liked the pairing with him and RJ anyway, right? I never liked that. And then you combine the fact with him and Mitch, the spacing to me, I
don't see what.
think it's better.
I don't see what the difference is going to be with Obi and Mitch and Julius Randle's and Mitch, because right now, as it is, they both shoot about the same from the 3-point line. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is let it go. And I see someone in the chat said there's obviously a controversy. See, that's where I disagree. There's a controversy with the fans, not with the basketball team. Not with Tom Thibodeau, not with the coaching staff. There's a controversy with the fans. Let's not, and I'm not talking to you, Josh, let's not mix up how the fans feel and what the fans think with what the coaching staff thinks. Now, with all that being said, I pray that Obi continues to play this way. I so hope he continues to play this way.
Sam,
I really do.
We're gonna find out what happens in the regular season, right? But I'm just going based off of the track record of Tom Thibodeau. Right now, everything looks all fine and dandy, and that's why I really put that super chat out there, just so people don't overreact. I don't feel like I'm
Right,
overreacting.
and that's what I'm
Hold on, let me
saying.
finish.
I
Let
mean,
me finish real quick.
you're saying the track record of Tom Thibodeau. Let's take the track record of Obi too,
Okay.
okay, and just let it play out and see what
And
happens.
let's take the track record of the Knicks offense. We haven't not been a good offense. Right now, the offense is
I
playing
know,
well.
I know, I get it.
I totally get it. What I'm saying is, moving forward in the future, if Obi continues to play the way he's playing, the Knicks are going to have to find a way, because you're just not going to, you're not maximizing the strengths of your team by having Obi play 18 to 20 minutes a game. You're not maximizing your strengths at this point, offensively, especially, in my opinion.
Right. So if Obi continues to play this way, let's see what Tom Thibodeau does. Let's see if he gets 24 minutes and Randall gets 24 minutes. Let's see if it happens. Let's see if he continues to play this way.
Let's see if it becomes merit based.
You know what I mean?
Let's see if it's game to game.
You know, and let him do some things like rebound as well, get some assists as well. You know, do some of those things out there on the floor. You know what I mean? Because it's also about impacting impact.
Let's talk about impact.
It's also about impact. You know what I'm saying? And you can say, let's talk about, cool, we can. We don't know until Randall's not there for an extended period of time. Right? You don't know what kind of impact it is until Randall is not there. So if he's hurt for 20 games, now you can start to look at impact, and Obi's in that lineup. And, you know, if the Knicks are playing well and then Obi's in that lineup and they continue to play well or maybe better or whatever, you can say, okay, you know, Obi really does have that impact.
Can I ask you a question, Sam? Do you feel like the Knicks in the last 10 games of the season, where Julius was limited or what have you, do you feel like the offense played better the last 10 games of the season?
It's hard for me to say what it was, because they were playing the games were meaningless. The games were meaningless, just like you're saying about the preseason games. They were literally like preseason games.
Go ahead and play this game. Yeah, they play better.
You know, I just want to see it when we're in the middle of the season and the games were in a tight battle for whatever, and him do it. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
And I listen, I think we will see. We will eventually find that out.
And I hope he does it.
Me too. I'll just finish off by saying that, again, this is not about Obi stats and his production individually. This is not about Obi scoring 24 points. It's the fact that I think collectively as a unit, the offense just seems to flow better and move better with Obi on the floor, as opposed to Julius Randle, particularly playing with that starting group, or the combination of RJ and Mitchell Robinson out there.
Yeah, I mean,
to me,
you know,
just from like it just looks that way.
But you haven't seen it fully with the starting group. You've seen it with Rose and Quickly and those guys, but have you seen it when he's out there with Brunson and Mitch and RJ and Cam or Fournier or whoever? We haven't. So it's very hard to determine.
But I've seen it with Randall, particularly over the last 2 years. And you can talk about Brunson not being here and everything like that. You can bring that up, bring all of that up. I just know offensively, the Knicks were not that good offensively.
I know.
The starting unit definitely was not that good.
I get it, but you haven't seen Obi in that starting unit to know if he makes a difference in that starting unit.
And that's why I want to see him play.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I mean, but you're automatically saying, oh, we're gonna have to do something with him. But you gotta see it with that unit before you really know. Now, will he get some minutes with that unit? Maybe he will, and then you can get a chance to see.
Can I jump in real quick? What about the depth of the team? Because I don't see a problem with having both of them, to be honest. I agree with you in certain aspects. I agree that the team ran better those last 10 games. I agree that there were times the team ran better with Obi on the floor and Randall not on the floor throughout the season. But you can't just take away Randall's impact on the game, his impact on the defense, on the opposing team's defense. They hover to him. That affects the game. So I mean, I want Obi to do the best he can. I want Randall to do the best he can. I want us to have it's the same thing with Hartenstein and Mitch to an extent, because they bring two different aspects of the game. You know what I mean? So to me, that helps our team all around.
Yeah.
And I agree with you with the lineup with Obi, RJ, and Mitch. I think that's why, I don't know if it was last year. I think it was before last year started. You and I agreed in a sense on putting Mitch and RJ on the bench, because the second unit I thought ran better with them. So I agree with you in a sense, but to automatically jump to we got to trade him, or we got to move on from him, I think that's where the problem is. It can work with both of them. That's all I'm saying.
I said if Obi continues this up, number one, and number two, again, this is about the team collectively. That's what it's about. And it's not about Randall. And I understand. On one end, we want to talk about the Knicks need to move faster and they need to play faster. But on the other hand, you want to keep someone in the game and have them play major minutes that holds the basketball, that needs the basketball, that needs to hold the basketball in order to get everybody else open, instead of the spacing just naturally being there because of the players' abilities. So which one do we really want? The team plays faster.
I mean, listen.
Out there on the floor.
Me and Steph say this all the time, right? You can have a team that looks like the ball is moving and it's popping and this and that and this and that, but it's really not doing much for your offense. Or you can have a team that it looks like, man, they're slow and they're pounding it. You know, Kawhi just got the ball every time, but they're winning basketball games with it. Let's see which one works for this particular basketball team.
So then it's not about moving faster then. It's not about playing faster. It's not about playing faster.
That's part of it. You want to. That's part of it. But you can't just go by how it looks. That's what you keep saying, how it looks. It looks better. It looks prettier. But it's got to result into something too. You know what I'm saying? So let's see how this group works together, because we keep talking about taking away, right? We already saying we don't have enough talent to deal with some of the upper echelon teams. So now we're talking about taking away talent. Let's see if we can mix this talent together. If he's coming on and doing well, good. He's still got this year, and he's got a team option for next year on his contract, and then there's a qualifying offer for the year after that. Can we let him get through that? And let's talk about that then. If he's coming on like, yo, this guy really needs to be out there, then you figure out what are we going to do with these contracts, because then Randall has 2 years left, right? But as it is, can we let the depth build?
And that's why I said if Obi continues to play the way he's playing, but only thing I can go by is what I have seen from the Knicks over the past 2 years and who Tom Thibodeau is as a coach from throughout his career, right? Mm-hmm. This playing, mixing the lineups and all that stuff in the preseason, and it all looks great and gravy right now. Mm-hmm. During the regular season, we know Tom Thibodeau is not going to do that. Secondly, Julius Randle will play. He will play a lot.
We know he's going to play. We get it.
And we know
he's going to play. But
we know, hold on, let me finish, Sam. We know with Julius Randle on the floor, the Knicks offense has not been good. Collectively, they haven't. Julius Randle, his numbers are good, but the offense collectively has
you're right.
not.
And we also know that he had Elfrid Payton and Alec Burks out there with him.
I know.
Right. So those are things that you got to take into consideration about this year's basketball team.
And one of those years, he was most improved and All NBA second team.
Right. That's his personal stats.
So and we was the 4th seed.
Offensively, we weren't good, Tony.
We was in the playoffs.
We get it. But can we let this year happen? Take your own advice. That's all I'm going to say. Just take your own advice. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Stay even keel. Let's see what happens. It's the second game of the preseason. Let's see what happens with this particular basketball team. And let's hope that Obi continues to play the way that he played tonight.
I'll be right there.
That's all I'm saying. Let's see what happens with this particular basketball team.
I want you to refer back to this video.
Oh, you can refer back to this video. That's great. You hear what I'm saying. I'm saying let's take a wait and see approach.
I agree.
And see what this team looks like.
Let's do it.
And how it comes together. And let's try to build depth. Let's try to build depth. If they're both playing good basketball, let's build depth until we really need to make a move. That's all I'm saying. Let me get to a caller, man. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
Spree, what's up?
Spree, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
Good discussion. So I'll start with where you guys are talking and give you my take on the whole situation. So first of all, when you throw down a dunk like that, you can say whatever you want. That's number one. Number two,
Well,
yeah,
I mean, Josh didn't throw down that dunk. So, I mean, Obi can say whatever he wants. Josh.
Obi can say it. No, not Josh.
The last thing Josh dunked was a donut.
I'm talking about
I've
Obi,
ate a
but I
donut
love
in 5
Josh.
years.
But let me just say this. Toppin has not shown he can shoot the three like he did tonight. So I want to wait. Like, he shot it really great tonight. There's no doubt. You need to find time for Obi. But here's my thing. What I liked about Obi tonight, too, is his defense was good, and he was also using the baseline to get in the paint. And he's starting to rebound the ball better. I want to see Obi rebound the ball like he's been doing. I want to see him be able to shoot the three like he's been doing. But there's no doubt. You got to find a way to get Toppin on the floor. Nobody's disputing that. Let's get to Julius. So a couple things on Julius. Number one, he's still a very talented basketball player. I don't care what anybody says. Okay, we have to find a way to use him. Here's what I liked about Julius and what I didn't like. What I liked about Julius is when he pushes the pace. If you've never seen Julius Randle in person, I don't think people realize how strong and big this guy is, and how much of a force he can. He honestly can be. I'm not saying he's LeBron James. What I'm saying is when he pushes the pace, he's a load to deal with when the defense isn't set. He found RJ for three. He did another third quarter. Julius found Cam for that acrobatic layup. He did an MJ Burks layup. Cam felt bad for Cam because Cam was thinking too much. But Julius, when he gets in transition, I liked what I saw. He got a little loosey-goosey. Yes, the lazy handoff pass, and then he went under the legs back to Brunson. So it's a little awkward. But in the second quarter, you need to tell me when Julius scored. You can throw the ball down to him. He's learning to play off the ball. There's no doubt it looks better with Toppin because of the flow. I get all that. But Julius Randle is still a 20-10 guy. You have to find a way to make it work. My recommendation is Jalen and Randle spend time off the court, look at the film. He scored 7 straight in the second quarter when people were getting popcorn. First preseason game coming out of halftime, Julius scored like 8 to 10 in a row when people were getting popcorn. So let's everybody play nice. Julius can still get his, and we can make this thing special and score 130 a night. We need to use all of our talent. So I don't want to just throw Randle to the side just because Obi looks good. I think we can make this work with both of them. Maybe we can't, but I'd like to see it first. But now let me just also say this about RJ. Why do people let RJ go left? Why do people still do that?
I don't think they can stop him. And part of it, Spree, is you see a lot of times Randle will hand it off to RJ, and just a little bit of a bump is enough to free RJ up to be able to go to his left.
Yeah, I just don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Why do NBA players let RJ go with his left hand? I love it. Just keep letting him go left. And he's making the three. He can shoot the ball better now. It's slowed down for him. I like where RJ is at. I just don't understand it because RJ's a serious problem. Because if he's making the three, they can't stop the left hand. I don't understand why people do that. Mitch, I like that he got involved. I was annoyed in the first quarter when they didn't get him involved, but Brunson and RJ got him going in the third. And let me just say this, IQ, Sim, I caught some of your preview.
Mm-hmm.
And I know how he finished. He saved us in the third quarter when the Pacers made that run and he got it really going. And I love IQ. But he does, there are possessions, Sim, where he over dribbles too much. He will I know that's what he likes to go, and I know IQ has tons of value. But there are certain possessions in a basketball game where can we get IQ to stop over dribbling?
He's learning. He's learning, and I think he still has to learn just that balance. You know what I mean? That's all I can say. He's got to learn that balance. Tony wants to say something. Go ahead, Tony.
Nah, I was just gonna point out you made a good what else, Free? You made a good point the other night. Because he don't do that when D Rose is on the floor. It's only when Deuce comes in that he start running amok again.
Yeah, but
yeah.
But listen, I'm satisfied with what they're doing right now. Obviously, we got to see them continue to do it, but I'm satisfied with what I see from this basketball team. And then you know what else? You know what else, Spree? You talked about Randall scoring those points in the second quarter, third quarter, second quarter, third quarter, second quarter, right?
He had 7 straight in the second.
Yeah. At that point in time, when he started scoring some buckets, Jalen Brunson was a little bit off.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you seen like they made an effort. I don't know if it was a call from Tom Thibodeau or what, but he was bringing the ball up, and going to get a bucket, but he wasn't holding long. There were quick shots. He was striking, attacking the basket. Then in the third quarter, it went back to Brunson having the ball in his hands.
Right. I mean, my whole thing with that, like, and that's the thing, like, Brunson's not, as much as I think Brunson is the savior, so to speak. I know he's not MJ. I make fun of that because I always pick somebody on the team to be MJ. It was always Alec Burks off the ball, but Brunson's the savior and makes it go. But Brunson's not always going to have it. My thing with Randall, it should be, number one, I understand he can dribble the ball. I understand we want it free flowing. I understand what it looks like, but he is a very talented scorer. And he's a willing passer when he wants to be. He doesn't always see it. My whole thing is the game should be easier for him. He should be able to have more rest. He's in better shape. And my whole thing is he can watch Brunson with the ball in his hands. So he should be energized when he does get those opportunities to go to work. And I think he's still learning how to play off the ball. I don't think he's ever – I'm not saying he's never been taught because in New Orleans he had to do it. I'm sure I didn't watch New Orleans. But what I'm saying is I think it will get better, but like the key for Randall, number one, is be fresh. When you get your opportunities, you got to go. You got to get rid of it quickly. But when Jalen doesn't have it, but also transition because he can be a LeBron James because he's a force. Finish around the rim and rebound the heck out of the ball. Julius still. That's another thing people forget. We need rebounding. We got to be a great rebounding team. Mitch, Obi, Julius can be a great rebounder. So I just want to try and make it work with everybody because I want to give him a chance before I kick anybody to the curb. But I get it. Obi looked good tonight. He
looked great tonight, man. Spree, I appreciate your time, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate your call. Appreciate your time.
Later.
Yeah, Obi definitely looked great tonight, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of things I want to get to. Paris Duggar said Obi was the number one player in college on the number one team in college. How can basketball people keep ignoring where he's headed? I don't think him being the number one player on the number one team in college really means anything. Once you get into the NBA, we've seen it happen with players plenty of time, and then they didn't even pan out. Let's just focus on what Obi did tonight and what we think he can do going forward, because I don't think anything he's done in college is going to impact his game right now. You know what I mean? That just let him do what he's going to do and hope that he has a great season and continues to elevate. I want to get into Cam Reddish, talk about Cam Reddish. He got the start tonight. How'd you feel about Cam Reddish starting? How did it look to you? Tony, I'll start with you because that's your guy.
It is my guy. Unfortunately, I did not even know he started until the second quarter because I didn't get to see the first quarter. But overall, I didn't see much out of him. I'll be honest. But it's not discouraging. I do like the scoop layup, reverse layup. That was nice. He just looked indecisive to me. Defensively, he looked good. I will say that for the most part. Couple missed lapses, that happens, but the effort was there. I really think he's gonna figure it out by the end of the season. If he's here under Tibbs, I think right now he's in a adjustment period.
Mm-hmm.
This was definitely an opportunity for him. We'll see if he has another opportunity to start moving forward or just the opportunity to get minutes. But I think he's gonna figure it out. I think it's just really him adjusting to Tibbs. Right now he has a much bigger window than like some other guys got early on. But I like his effort. I mean, defense was definitely on point today, and I think he knows that's what's going to keep him on the floor. and then that offense, he's just got to stop thinking and kind of just react, read the game and react, like he did with the layup.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Josh. I see you chuckling.
Yeah, because I'm just reading who's Mark's comments in the chat. He said he played defense. Tony didn't watch the game. I would say I wouldn't say good. I would say Cam Reddish was okay, and so all the rest of the stuff Tony said in regards to Cam Reddish finding his footing and trying to find his place with that lineup is obvious. Out the gate, they didn't look that great together as a collective unit, right? But I thought Cam Reddish was okay. I think he has a lot of time to kind of figure it out. Knock on wood. Hopefully, the rest of the players get back from injury. But if not, then he'll have more time in the preseason to kind of get his footing if Tom Thibodeau wants to go back to that lineup and put Cam Reddish out there. However, I do want to highlight the fact that having Cam Reddish out there with RJ Barrett and Randall, I was kind of right about how the Knicks were going to use that lineup. They're going to use RJ as a spot-up shooter, and RJ was spot on, right, as a spot-up shooter in that lineup, as opposed to Fournier, whoever being out there. Obviously, RJ is not the caliber of shooter as Evan Fournier, but having Cam Reddish out there who needs the basketball in his hands, plus Randall, RJ kind of turns into that de facto by default. And I thought that was a really nice touch to see RJ knock those shots down. But I thought Cam played okay. He wasn't detrimental out there on the floor. And come the third quarter, I thought the third quarter he played much better with that unit collectively together, defensively and offensively.
Yeah, well, you have to figure when they, in practices, he's probably playing with the second unit and hasn't gotten much reps with that unit right there. You know what I mean? So, it's going to take some time just for guys to understand, just to understand the little nuances of how it's going to work, to build that chemistry out there on the floor. Now, if if Evan Fournier sits another game, they don't play again until Wednesday. If he sits another game, then maybe you see it look a little bit better if he's out there in that starting unit.
I'm sorry. Did I say he played bad defense?
No. Mark was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When you said Cam Reddish played good defense, he was being sarcastic.
Mark was being sarcastic. Let me get to a couple more super chats. Paris Duggar said Obi and IQ are like plus 70 in their last 20 games. True, I guess. I haven't looked at the actual numbers. He also said our star player is our depth, period. It's a killer. Our depth is definitely going to be strong this year as long as people can stay healthy. You know what I mean? And we want to, try to keep as much depth as possible so that we can continue to, our second unit is really who extended the lead and turned it into a big double-digit lead. You know what I mean? Because when you have other teams, like, for example, the Pacers tonight, when our second unit, the entire second unit is in the game, they're bringing in one or two starters, right? So that their second unit can stay competitive with our second unit. And then now their starters got to still play against our starters. You know what I mean? So if we can keep that kind of depth out there and guys can stay healthy, that can be a big, big, big plus for us.
Sim, I listen. I like the fact that the Knicks have depth, right? But I guess what I'm coming down to is saying, at what point does your depth, at what point are you sacrificing collective production for depth?
I think having depth is going to be part of your collective production as a team. You know what I'm saying? Your collective production is part. Your depth is part of that collective production. It's one of the reasons why Tom Thibodeau was always like, it doesn't matter to me who starts, who's coming off the bench. Guys can play 30-plus minutes off the bench, whatever it is. It's about the collective production of the team. You know what I'm saying? And you put the best units out there. You try to put together units that are going to work together well. You know what I mean? And if we can have good depth, until we get to the point where we can't afford to have the depth. You know what I mean? Like, if we can have good depth, you got to rock with it and see where this team can go, because we don't have the overbearing talent. I mean, if you're telling me that Obi Toppin, in your heart of hearts, that Obi Toppin is about to be a 10-time All-Star. And that by him being on the bench is stopping him from becoming a 10-time All-Star, okay, then maybe you got to say, all right, we know what we got to do. Like, like Kobe and what's his name? Eddie
Jones.
Like, look at this kid. Like, this kid is about to do it. You know what I mean? We got to make this work. You know what I mean? I don't know if we've seen that from Obi yet. I haven't seen that from Obi yet.
Once again, it's not about Obi himself, right? Himself being an all-star. That's not what it's about. It's about having, like you said, having the best 5 players on the floor, right? And your starting unit that are going to play the bulk of your minutes. That's what it's about for me. And that's why I keep looking at the depth. And I think depth is a good thing. Depth is definitely going to be a good thing, particularly if the Knicks start winning, they get into the playoffs. I think it's going to be a good thing at that point. But I think this is not a game of battleship, right? Just because you have the most horses does not mean you're going to necessarily win, right? But the best horses that you do have, you want to maximize the time that they're on the floor, right? And by best horses, I don't mean individually. I mean collectively as a unit. And you want to have that group of players on the floor for most of the time.
Right. But
together as a group.
And if you can have 2 units that play really, really well, then you have 2 units that play really, really well.
And do different things.
If you don't have to take away from it right now, why take away from it?
I'm not asking for the Knicks to take away from it. I'm just talking about based off of who Tom Thibodeau is. Like this whole thing with like as many players that played tonight, I think it was over 10. It had to be over 10. And you can count the Sweemaholic and what's the other guy? Archie Diacono. You can count those players in there as well. Like the Knicks are going to shorten up this rotation. Really, they're going to shorten it up.
Oh, we know that.
9-10 players during the regular season, so it's not going to be all these. It's not going to be this. All these players are not going to share minutes on the floor. It's not going to be like that.
But I don't think we're worried about those guys, right? They're going to be. There's going to be a 10-man rotation, and I think we kind of know who that 10-man rotation is. Besides what goes on with Cam, you know what I mean? And then it depends. Okay, how does the minutes distribution work out?
That's what I'm concerned about, the minutes distribution.
Right. But listen, I also believe that Tom Thibodeau wants to win basketball games. And he's going to put players on the floor that's going to help him win. I actually trust in that. I know there's a lot of people that think he has an agenda and, I'm an old school guy, so I'm only going to play guys that's over 30 years old and all that kind of stuff. I don't believe that at all. I believe Tom Thibodeau is going to play the guys that he feels gives him the best chance to win the basketball game.
How about this? The starting unit plays 50-50 most of the game or whatever, or a little above 50-50, let's say 60-40, and the bench unit come in and they just start blowing the game open. Let's see if that happens, and then they could just keep ending out the fourth quarters because we up and they're the reason why.
But Tony, but that did happen last season, though, right?
And yes, and that was Tibbs doing. Like Tibbs kept them in. So that's what I'm saying. If they outshine the starting unit, or if somebody's not playing well, the biggest adjustment I think Tibbs does have to make is the distribution of minutes between Randall and Obi. We all agree he played Randall too much, too long of stretches. We all agreed that Randall looked tired at the end of games. Like, not making an excuse for him, but like we've talked about that. You know what I mean? So I agree with you. I think Tibbs is gonna adjust. I think he's gonna adjust.
And we'll see if this rotation with what he's doing right now. 6 minutes for Randall in the first quarter. Then Obi gets like 10 straight minutes. But those 10 straight minutes include a break for between the first and second quarter. So it's not like 10 straight minutes on the court. There's a break in there. You know what I mean? And then Randall gets, 6 to 7 minutes in the second quarter. Let's see how that goes. Now, I also want to see if the game is tight, how it looks in the second half. We haven't had a tight game yet because so far we've been able to extend our leads. Now I want to talk about Mitchell Robinson, 18 minutes and 48 seconds, 10 points, 9 rebounds. 4 of them were offensive rebounds. 5 of them were defensive rebounds. 1 steal. No blocks for Mitch tonight. knocked down both of his free throws. I thought he played well. And if he would have played 24 minutes or something like that, he would have had a double-double. You know what I mean? Tony, how'd you feel about what you're seeing from Mitchell Robinson tonight?
Excited. I think he's ready. I think he's arrived. I don't know if it was what interview I watched of him, but he kind of talked about, it's year 4, and he's got to establish himself. So, and he don't got to worry about that contract. I think he's good to go. Talked about a hook shot too. I'm waiting to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like what I saw from him tonight. No blocks, but he changes shots even when he doesn't block shots.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's a force out there.
Yeah. And we've been able to see him. He took the ball from Miles Turner today. Stole the ball from Miles Turner. We've seen him. Talking about playing that defense and getting blocks, but these last 2 games he's gotten a steal in both of these games.
On the perimeter. Away from the basket. Yeah.
Exactly. That's you gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. I was really encouraged by this. I think Mitch, I don't know if he had to switch out on a guard, but he was out on somebody on the perimeter, and Jalen Brunson was next to him, and I could see Jalen Brunson yell, like, get low, get out there, get low, on, you know what I'm saying? And, really forcing Mitch to get lower and really move his feet and play defense. That's the kind of talking, that's the kind of team defense that we're seeing so far in the preseason. And I'm going to say, for the most part, from everybody that's out there on the floor. I know people are going to pick out certain players and say, this guy's not playing defense, this guy's not playing defense. You know what I mean? But I feel like everybody is truly putting in a strong effort. There's going to be plays that get broken down, and people are going to spotlight those plays and say, see, this guy don't move his feet, or this guy ain't doing this, or this guy don't know his rotations. But I think the guys, all of them, from what I've seen so far, are really out there hustling and working hard on the defensive end. You know what I mean? You can't get mad at that. You can't get mad at that. Now, guys got to definitely know their rotations and make sure you're not getting beat back door. But so far, I haven't seen anything that makes you just say, oh my gosh, how did that happen? You know what I mean? I haven't seen it. But back to Mitch, 10 points, 9 rebounds. I think I like the play. I don't know. I think Indiana went on a little bit of a scoring run. They came right in the game and ran a play out of the timeout and caught RJ. Let me see. Brunson came down the sideline, got the ball to Randall, I think. And then RJ cut to the top of the key to the wing. Randall kicked it to RJ, and then Mitch set the screen, and RJ came off dribbling to the right and then lobbed it up for Mitch, and Mitch got the dunk. You know what I mean? It was a nice play. I would like to see the Knicks get to the point where Brunson, in the middle of a game can realize, all right, we kind of stalled out. Let's call this play, and get that play called coming out of a timeout. Now, maybe they don't have like those type of plays and it's something where they draw it up in the timeout, in order for it to happen. But I would like to see them be able to do some things like that on the fly in the middle of a game when things are stalled out a little bit, But good game for Mitchell Robinson. Isaiah Hartenstein didn't knock down a shot today, but he took 3 3-pointers. I'm telling you, Josh, I think that guy is going to average about 2 attempts a game. I really do. I think he's going to average it. I felt like he was a little hesitant, and you heard Walt Clyde, in the first half say, he's not looking to shoot. You know what I'm saying? But there was one play where I looked and I said, this is what he can do. The play didn't work out. Well, 2 plays, I guess. He had one, he was on the elbow, and he was holding the ball up high. Whoever it was, I don't remember who it was, but they were cutting around him. You know what I'm saying? And they were cutting around him looking to try to get free where he can get him the ball. That play didn't work out. The other play was when Miles McBride went back door. And bam, he hit him with the pass back door. Miles missed the layup. But that's an example of what Hartenstein can bring to that second unit. And then you got guys like Obi and Quickly and sometimes McBride out there that'll be able to cut off of him having the ball from that high post area. And I think that's a portion of the offense that the Knicks are going to have to, is going to develop, but explore it more in that second unit. You know what I mean?
I'm with you. I'm with you on that, Sam. Listen, and again, just to reiterate my point, just because Hartenstein didn't make a shot does not mean he's not a threat from there, right? The fact that he's taking them, like you said, he's taking those 3-point shots, keeping the defense honest. And just like I mentioned in the offseason, I think having him there, particularly with the second unit, playing with Obi, Obi cutting on the baseline, if the lineup stays the way it is, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great because Obi can slash baseline, go backdoor, and receive those passes. So I think Hartenstein is a tremendous addition for the bench. I think a tremendous addition.
Yeah, 6 rebounds for Hartenstein tonight as well. Yep, 6 rebounds. Jalen Brunson, he was 4 for 12 from the field tonight, 33%, 0 for 1 from the 3-point line. He was 9 for 9 for the 3 from the free throw line. That's definitely going to be big for the Knicks. 17 points still for Jalen Brunson. And when he did not have, he wasn't hitting. You know what I mean? So you've seen more facilitation from Randall, and you've seen more facilitation even from R.J. Barrett on some occasions. When you look at the shot distribution tonight, R.J. Barrett led the team in shot attempts with 15. Then it was Obi with 14. Quickly had 12. Brunson had 12, and Randall had 11. Mitchell Robinson 5. Cam Reddish 7 shot attempts. Miles McBride had 7 shot attempts, but when you're talking about the rotation guys, that's the shot attempt breakdown. 100 shot attempts by the New York Knicks. Obviously, when the season begins, it's going to change a little bit because these guys are going to get more minutes. You know what I mean? But I expect it to be something like this during the regular season. Go ahead, Tony.
I was just interested in Sims' stat line. I like what I saw from Sims tonight. He's gonna be ready when his number is called. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna do nothing outstanding or record breaking, but he fits perfect into this system, this kind of farm system where you could groom guys and whenever his time is he's gonna be ready.
And you even seen him get the rebound off the backboard, right? And advance it up the floor. You know what I mean?
4.6 rebounds.
Yeah, 4.6 rebounds. And what was it? 8? How many? 12 minutes. 13 minutes, basically. 13 minutes. Yeah. 13 minutes. You know what I mean? He's gonna make his name known and let his name be known. I don't know where he's gonna fit into play.
And he's an insurance policy. Break glass in case of emergency.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And go ahead.
It's not gonna be a problem when he's not playing. You know what I mean? Like, because he does. It's not like he does something astronomical that you know what I mean. For instance, we talking about Obi and is he being held back or whatever? There's no concern in that. You know what I mean? He's gonna be ready when his number's called. He's gonna sit and cheer when it's not. But I'm looking forward to this, man.
Yeah. I'm looking at Miles McBride, watching Miles McBride play, and then I'm thinking about Derrick Rose, and I can't help but to think that Derrick Rose has 1 year left on his contract, right? Just this season left on his contract. No,
yep.
actually he has a team option for next year. So Derrick Rose makes $14.5 million this year. Then there's a team option for next season for Derrick Rose at $15.6 million. But I still can't help to think that, all right, Derrick Rose, let's say he's here, for this season and next season, and Miles McBride is the one that's in the cooker. You know what I'm saying? He's on deck. And boom, he's going to slide right in there. I can't help but to think that. And, that this is a good, good experience for Miles McBride to just sit back and play his spot minutes, but learn from Rose, learn from Brunson, and then when he's ready to get out there, he can do what he does. He knocked down a couple of threes tonight. He's looking more comfortable out there. You know what I mean? Looking more comfortable out there. Big shout out to the 77. Thank you for the super chat. He said, we win and y'all got complaints. I don't have any complaints. I don't have any complaints at all about winning. You know what I mean? Josh has complaints. don't put that on me.
I don't have complaints. I have concerns.
You have controversies.
And controversies.
Yeah. Trav B. Ryan, thank you for the super chat. He said, we won. We don't have a star, but when we score by committee, we might have a chance. Randall will be fine once they start learning each other. And I agree. I think Randall will be fine once they start learning each other. And you look at tonight, they're going to have to find that balance between, when is he off the ball and when does he get a chance to do like what he did in the second quarter. They're gonna work that balance out. You know what I mean? So that, everybody is comfortable. Everybody is comfortable.
Sam, I saw Obi played 22 minutes today and Julius Randle played 24. In your honest opinion, do you think that will be the minutes distribution in this season between Obi and Randle?
Julius Randle played 22. Obi played 20.
Yeah. Right around there.
Will that be
That's
the minutes?
half and half.
Will that be the minutes distribution? Probably not. But I think, probably not. You know what I mean? You have to look at there's about 6 minutes missing between those two. Right? So those other 6 minutes maybe go to Randall. Maybe they get split. Right? Because during the end of the game, the last 6-7 minutes of the game, neither one of those guys were out there on the floor. I don't think anybody would argue with 28 minutes a game for Randall. I don't think anybody would argue with that. Can you find extra minutes? I don't know. Paris Douglas said, have you ever seen the refs stop a game on a dunk? Actually, I have. I've seen the refs stop a game on a dunk. It was a game that I was a part of. I was coaching. I was down in South Carolina. And
Rock Hill.
I was in Rock Hill. No doubt about it. That's where the tournament was. It was in Rock Hill. And one of the opposing team's players was on the foul line. We were in a gym that had 2 courts. It had not a stage, but a hallway or whatever upstairs. And the dude shot the free throw. And this kid, he was about 6 foot. And my player was like 6'4". And the kid flew up, jumped over his back, grabbed it with 2 hands, and bomb. And not only did our referees stop the game, but the other game that was playing, everybody there turned around and looked at our game. Everybody upstairs looked at our game, and everyone started screaming. Their bench ran on the floor. The basket didn't even count. It didn't matter that it didn't count, but the basket didn't count. They called an offense. They called a foul on that kid, but it was probably the nastiest dunk that I ever seen in person. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, I definitely seen the refs stop a game over a dunk.
Yeah, I was like, yo, what's going on? Did they get a taunting tech? You know what I mean? For pointing?
They didn't call a timeout that play? I thought they called a timeout.
Yeah. Rick Carlisle called a timeout. As soon as the dunk happened, Rick Carlisle called a timeout. So that, I guess so,
And quickly with his theatric.
Quickly be bugging, man. Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. What else is there to talk about, man, with this team? I'm just happy that we're getting, we still got a lot to work through, spacing issues to work through, some defensive communication, right? I think, there were some breakdowns on that side of the ball. Tom Thibodeau.
We got to see Sevy.
Yeah, we got to see him. Tony,
that boy can shoot.
Tony, I hate to say it to you, man. I don't even want to say it. But man,
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Cam better watch his back, man.
Don't do that.
Cam better watch his back. If
Fournier better watch his back. How about that?
Oh well, that's
true.
That? Okay. I mean, maybe, but
and I was thinking of my own little controversy. You know what I mean? So how about
can't never have too much shooting. I don't think it's Fournier.
How about Fournier gotta watch his back?
I don't know, man. I'm just saying. If you talk about, like sneaking up the totem pole, Cam would be the next one that he would probably Svi would probably, and then it would be Fournier.
I mean, not if Cam is doing all right.
And not if Cam does his thing. If Cam does his thing, that's another story. All right. Eddie F., thank you for the super chat. He said, we have seen Sims add some ball handling and in the Summer League directed offense from the arc. I don't know about a sort of a Giannis lookalike, but, how far do you think he can go with that? Who knows? He's not scared to do it. He's not scared to get the ball off the rim and go, and that's encouraging. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how much he can add to his game, and help it to be able to, give him some more variety in his basketball game. Give us a call, ladies and gentlemen, 516-362-5212. I want to know what you're thinking about this game. Hunt better watch his back. Maybe that isn't. I don't know. Svi actually is on the roster. Hunt is a two-way. So, anything else that you guys are thinking about, though, with this game?
Let's keep it going. Keep this momentum right into the season.
Greg, good storyteller, but hater of the youth. Why would I hate the youth? I coach the youth. I coach the youth. Come on.
I just want to say, listen, everyone knows I supported Julius Randle last season. I still do support him. But now I'm kind of on the other side of the train where I think, I think Obi just fits better with the starting lineup. And I'm gonna stick with that take until this offense, currently as constructed, plays the same way they're playing right now into the regular season consistently. And I just have not seen that yet. So
he's gonna stick with that take until Obi has like 5 goose eggs in a row. You know what I'm saying? Then he's gonna say, well, maybe I was a little bit hyped that night.
No, because again, it's not about the individual. It's about the collective unit.
We get that. I know. So
why you keep saying that Obi has 5 goose eggs?
Huh?
Why you keep saying that Obi has 5 goose eggs?
Because you wasn't saying this after the last game. You're saying it after he had a good game. That's why I keep saying it. If you would have said this after the last game, then you would have came on and said, see what I'm talking about. But you didn't say it until after this game.
Okay, so let me wait for the next goose egg for me to say it. Particularly if the Knicks look better offensively, I'll wait and
then. Yeah. And if they look better offensively and lose 5 in a row, although they're looking better offensively, but lose 5 in a row, go ahead and say it. Let me get to this
so
phone call.
You're gonna put those on Obi?
No, I'm not putting it on Obi. You're saying that it looks better, it fits better, so they're gonna win.
No, I didn't say anything about. I didn't say anything about winning. I said offensively.
Okay, so you just wanted to look good. You don't care if they win or lose. You just wanted to look good.
I want the production offensively from a collective unit to be better.
Right. Whether or not they win, so they can be below 500. Okay. All right.
You gotta play defense too.
Okay. All right. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
How you doing, Sam? This is Silk from Brooklyn.
So, what's going on, my brother? How you feeling?
It's all good, man. I just want to say I enjoyed the game. I'm gonna be honest. When Randall was doing that one-on-one bound, screaming at the TV, pass the ball, pass the ball, stop holding on to the ball. And that one play where Cam was trying to make a move and he ran right into Randall.
Yeah, I didn't like that play. That was a bad play. And I think he does that. He passes out and then he's going to set a screen. I think he needs to wait and see, does the player want the screen or not? Pass the ball, slide down to the corner, go down in the post. If the player wants the screen, they'll put their fist up or whatever, call for a screen, if that's what Tom Thibodeau has them do. But Randall, automatically passes the ball, fires it out there, and then runs out there. You know what I'm saying? And,
It's the IQ, Tony. Remember we were talking about that yesterday?
You know what I'm saying? And then Cam was looking to go to the basket at the same side that Randall was coming to set the screen. And then bam, they run into each other.
He became a defender. He became a defender for the other team.
He did.
Defending Cam. But other than that, see, I like it, everything's doing. It's just that's part I can see right now going to take the longest for the Knicks. But if we work that out, we be all right.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. If they can work that out.
Yeah, That's all I got to say on that one. I had to get that out because that one, him pounding that ball, I like, the first game we were moving the ball, and now he pounding. I was yelling at the TV, pass the ball. Stop holding the ball for 7 seconds.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Nice talking to y'all guys.
I appreciate you, my
have
man.
a good night.
All right, be easy.
All right,
Peace.
You too.
Yeah, that right there, that play, I don't know if that's something he was coached, to do in high school, and he just kept doing it in college, and he just kept doing it. But they just get out the way, unless it's something that you set up. But the players got to know that's what they're gonna do. You know what I mean? Part of it comes down to that chemistry, and not knowing what they're going to do. I think with Evan Fournier, he knows now, okay, this is what Randall's going to do, so then they play off of it a little bit. Some of it comes down to that. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
Sim.
Who?
It's your boy Stafford Dunn.
Stafford, what's going on with you, my man?
You
There
know
we go.
what I'm calling about.
I know what he's calling about. He's
Here we
calling
go.
he's calling the glue.
You're sure right. Tony, what happened, bro?
What do you mean? You didn't see that defense?
What you mean?
You didn't see that defense?
31 minutes.
How many times
31
you watched
minutes,
the game?
5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. What happened?
That sounds like stat stuffing.
Bro, that sounds like a player is not going to be in the rotation.
I don't know. That defense. Go ahead, say it again. He had a bad shooting night.
I
but go
said
ahead.
that looks like a player that's not going to be in rotation because when you see Grimes come back, that's it for your boy.
I know. Run those. The stat line again.
5 points in 31 minutes.
Oh, what about
2
the other
rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. That's it.
Yeah, that's not. That's
He
pretty
had
good.
21 minutes tonight.
That's
What
pretty
did he
good for a
show in
bad shooting
21
night.
minutes, Tony?
That's pretty
Come
good
on,
for
man.
a bad
Stop
shooting
it,
night
bro.
in a lineup that he's
The
never
man
been
was
in
one
before.
for 1 for 6. He was 1 for 6 in the first game. Tonight is 1 for 7. What's the excuse now, Tony?
He had
Oh,
a
you
bad
quiet now.
shooting night. Nah, I was muted. He had a
Come
bad
on, man.
shooting
Stop
night.
it, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Stop it.
Stafford.
Stop it. Stop it.
Stafford.
He is not it, bro. He is not it. I've been told you that. You
All
on
right.
this Cam Hive like he's the next Paul George, like Nate McMillan said.
I didn't say
Come
it.
on, bro.
I didn't say
I
that.
understand he ain't say it. But, bro, you fighting for a contract in your last year, 4 years, and you still haven't shown anything. You
All
had
right,
your
let's see how
time
the story.
tonight.
Let's see how the story ends.
Okay, you got 2 more games,
what I'm not,
Tony. I'm
what
going
I'm
to give you
not
2
gonna
more
do,
games.
what I'm not gonna do is call you out if Cam has 20 points in a game and shoots 5 for 8 or something
I
like
want
that.
you to do that. But
Why-
no, but look the other
why would I
night.
do that?
Look the other night. I said the other night. I said I want Cam to make me look bad. And what has he done? Makes you look bad, bro. Not me.
I don't think I look too bad, bro. Like I know who he
Nah,
is.
you look bad, bro. You look bad, bro. Because all night I've been calling you out in the chat, and you've been quiet.
You want me to respond to you in the chat?
You jumped around every other topic but Cam.
I spoke about Cam.
But it's all
I
good,
said
though.
he had a bad shooting
I'm
night.
sorry.
I spoke about Cam. Where was you?
All right.
You ain't hear me?
I came home from work. I tired. I had to clean up. When I was cleaning up, you probably talked about him. Probably. But I didn't hear him. I didn't hear when you said that, but I was on the show all night listening. People in the chat now was trolling all
he
night.
was indecisive. He had a bad shooting night. I said his defense looked good. I said he has to figure that. He has to figure out the offense part. But he knows that defense is what's going to keep him on tour.
If you're gonna hang your head on defense with 2 steals, good luck, sir. Good luck. But Sim, you have a good night. Uncle Fulio,
Appreciate you,
we
Stafford.
brothers, bro.
Appreciate
It's all
you, man.
good.
Appreciate you.
Y'all have a good night.
All right, man. The last thing that I want to get to.
I knew that was why he was calling too.
Right. The last thing that I want to get to is The 3-guard lineup that we saw.
Yes.
We didn't talk about that. I want to get to that. The 3-guard lineup. IQ, D Rose, Miles McBride. I'll start with you, Josh. How did you feel about it? Okay, let me name out everyone that was in the lineup because we've seen it mostly in that second quarter. I guess we've seen it in the third quarter as well. D Rose, IQ, Miles McBride, Hartenstein, and Obi. How'd you feel? That's a small lineup. You know, we asking for Tibbs to go small. He said, okay. I'm going to put 3 guys out there that's 6'4" and below, a 6'8" power forward, and then a 7-foot big man that can shoot. But how'd you feel about it?
It wasn't too bad. I liked it. And like I said, I thought the Knicks were going to go to a 3-guard rotation. I thought, you know, instead of putting Cam out there at the 3, I thought that's pretty much what they were going to do. That's pretty much what Tibbs was going to do if I had to predict, because of that personnel that he had on the floor. They didn't play too bad defensively. They were you know, aggressive coming over screens, and they were putting a lot of pressure on the basketball. So, you know, just because you're small does not mean you can't play defense, right? Particularly having Miles McBride on there pressuring the basketball. Offensively, you didn't really miss a beat because you have Quickly and Rose out there on the floor who are going to do the bulk of the ball handling. And the spacing was there. I like the spacing with that lineup on the floor offensively. So I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that at all. And it's good that Tibbs is experimenting with that now.
Yeah. It's good he's experimenting with it now to see how it works out. I did feel like I would like to look at the rebound disparity in that stretch, during that stretch. Because during that stretch, I feel like is when the Knicks lost the lead in that first half. When they had that small lineup in. And it could have just been the flow of the basketball game. It may not be, you know, because they were small. Could have been the flow of the basketball game. But I feel like that had at least something to do with it. Because they were getting out-rebounded, I think. I don't know what the rebounding numbers broke down to be, but I felt like they were getting out-rebounded, and the size played a factor. As soon as RJ came in the game, I don't know. I don't remember who he came in the game for, but as soon as he came in the game, it immediately changed. You know what I mean? Tony, what did you think about that lineup?
I wasn't very comfortable with it. I don't know if I saw it in. You said he did it in the second quarter?
Second quarter.
Or the first quarter. All right,
second quarter.
So I did see both times he did it. I wasn't too comfortable with it, but Tibbs has run a 3-guard lineup before in Chicago. So I think if he's gonna go small, he might go that route before he goes the 2 small bigs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. B-Ball for real said it means nothing once Grimes returns, though. Or Evan Fournier.
I think it does. No, I think it can mean something because you could put. Well, I mean, for this, I think you could put Grimes in that 3-guard rotation, however way you want to. I mean it like that. I don't mean the 3-guard rotation doesn't mean nothing. I think it means something. You can still use it with Grimes.
Well, I think that if Cam isn't playing, then Grimes would be there. I think people are looking at the guards being 6'4" and below. And playing in that unit when you got, you know, a small forward that might be 6'7" out there on the floor. You know what I mean? Can it be successful against teams with that kind of length and height? I mean, literally, you're talking about 3 guys that's below 6'4" out there on the floor, you know?
Speed wins.
Yeah, well, it didn't win with that lineup tonight. So, I mean, it didn't win with that lineup tonight. I think they got outscored. You know, until RJ came back in. But, you know, I think he'll continue to experiment with it. There'll be times when he can use it, and there will be times where I agree, right? The speed will win out. The aggressiveness on ball handlers will win out, you know, and for stretches, 5-minute stretches or something like that, you can maybe force the other team to say, oh, maybe we need to go small, you know, or maybe we need to match their speed or something like that. I don't think it's something you're going to see a whole lot of. I mean, obviously with Grimes out there, if Grimes is out there, you know, he's 6'5", so, you kind of get the best of both worlds there. You know, you still get the kind of smaller with speed, but can still maybe guard someone who's 6'7". You know. I'm willing to see it again, just to see what it looks like. I don't know if it's necessarily. I don't know if we're gonna see it on Wednesday. There's some time if Fournier, and maybe the rest was just so you can get Cam out there. So maybe Fournier rests again, so you can see Cam in the lineup a little bit more.
Nah, I think everybody's healthy Wednesday, and then we're gonna see we're gonna start seeing the pecking order.
Who we play against?
So. Indiana.
Is it in Indiana?
Yes. And we go to Indiana, and then we come back and play Washington at MSG.
So 3 home games and 1 road game in the preseason.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. So do you think Wednesday is going to be the last 2 games are going to be dress rehearsals?
I think that should be enough. I mean, it's going to be telling if Grimes is still out. You know what I mean? If he's still out, I don't think we see him in the 4th game either. But yeah, if he's here, I'm hoping he's here. Honestly, I'm hoping he's here, and we have a full healthy squad. And the only way we see those guys fighting for a spot or showcasing is if it's another blowout. That's what I'm hoping for.
Right.
I think Grimes will be back by then. I think who else is out? Nobody else is out. Sims came back.
Came back. Svi came back.
Svi came back. So yeah, I think it's really about Grimes coming back, seeing, where he and if he's back the next game, I wouldn't even credit anything if he's if he's in the starting lineup. That's gonna say a lot. But the rotation wise, I think that 4th game, how that rotation goes in the 4th game, that's what we're gonna be looking at come the 1st game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
But Grimes might need he might be on a window in that 1st game back, 7-8 minutes.
Even if it's a blowout, you think, Tony, in game 4 against Detroit?
We play Washington game 4.
Oh, okay. I said Detroit. I don't know why I was thinking about Detroit.
Or you saying
if it's a blowout?
If it's a blowout, what does he not see the end? Do we not see the end of the bench guys?
Well, I mean, is it going to be still kind of like that rotation kind of feel?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if it's a close game, he's going with his lineup, his closing lineup, and things like that. You know what I mean?
But if it's a blowout, no, you don't think so?
Yeah, if it's a blowout, no, he'll probably give some guys. I mean, it's funny though. You see what he's doing to Keels. Keels coming in when the game is officially you know what I mean? Here, get your 30 seconds, get your 45 seconds.
Yeah, that's basically saying you are definitely gonna, unless you are a super duper star, you are gonna work your way up the ladder. You know what I mean? What was I gonna say? Lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something, now I forgot. Oh, I mean, we should start hearing of some players getting waived by now, soon. Right? It's been 2 games. You're probably gonna start hearing that that player got waived because, you can only take 15 guys into the regular season, and 2 of your guys will be, 2-way players. So we'll start hearing of some guys get waived soon, I guess. Yeah. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time here tonight. We are going to head out. I'm going to go back and we're going to timestamp this entire video, I think. So, we know what's going on and we can start to look back. You know what I mean? We had Stafford call up and come at Tony. And I mean,
I was
we got all kinds of stuff going on.
That's going to be a little mini clip.
Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff going on. So we're going to go back. We got to go back and timestamp this so we know who said what when. And bring it back later on, man.
I think Cam must have stole Stafford girl or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, man. And, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we might, I don't know, Tony, won't let nothing out the bag, but we might be doing something live Sunday together in person. You know what I mean? So be on the lookout for that in the event that it happens. We don't know yet. We're still talking about some things, but it could possibly happen. All right, so be on the lookout for that. And, yeah, other than that, any last words from you guys?
Yeah, your blackest time.
I'm absolutely disappointed in the Mets tonight, but I think we'll come back tomorrow and be strong.
All right.
And I don't look like Trevor Keels, by the way.
You said you don't like him?
I don't look like him.
Oh, I think you do look like him. But,
No, I don't.
There's a resemblance there. There's a
I'm gonna get you a
resemblance.
Trevor Keels jersey, and let's see how many autographs you get.
Oh, stop.
Right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we out of here. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench.